Chapter 8. Lacey. Our family has had its ups and downs, yet we all seem to have gotten through it. Larisha and this married man were really going to test her. She always has wanted a baby. Here it is, hours before she's about to give up another one. This time she has a choice. I only know I have to be here for her. The abortion was set for early in the morning at 9 o'clock a.m. We didn't talk much that night after I heard about her stupid affair with Marcus. My blood was boiling. I was just as mad about that as I was about Trey getting her pregnant all those years ago. Men just don't care about anything but themselves. They tell you all the things you want to hear until they have you fooled. That might just be why I'm still single. I can't let anybody mess up my life. I just can't. I made sure my clock was set for 6 a.m., then rolled over on my pillow. I said a prayer and went to sleep. I got up, took a shower, and put on some coffee. I was starting to get nervous, just like it was me who was going to have the abortion. I looked in on her. She was still sleeping. I kept thinking back to our childhood when I was determined to get Trey out of her life. He was a guy who wanted to have sex with virgins. He and his boys came up with a game called Smashing Pumpkins, and Tweet was part of their little mission. She believed Trey was in love with her, even after I confronted him right in front of her face, and he said I was right. Tweet said I wanted him for myself. I admit he was attractive, but he wasn't even my type. He was a whore, and I knew all the girls wanted him. But my sister was going to be another notch in his belt, and I had to do something about it before it was too late. I poured my first cup of coffee. I sat down and started to think back to a time where I had to do the unthinkable. My sister, after all that happened, still wanted to have the baby. After losing the baby, she was still running after Trey. He was taking advantage of her being young and not very streetwise. I sat down with her and tried to show her he was full of games. But every time I turned, there she was in his face. I knew he was still having sex with her and that she might be trying to get pregnant again. So as her big sister, I had to show her the hard way. I knew it was going to kill our close relationship, but it was the only way she would ever give him up. There was a big championship football game coming up on Friday. A bus was going to take the high school students that wanted to go on the bus to cheer on the team. I knew Tweet wouldn't be there because the 6th and 7th graders couldn't go, and that made it all the better for me to take advantage of the fact she would be away from Trey. He was going to start as running back for the team. He wanted to be down there pushing up on some new ass. He didn't think about what his record would look like with the big colleges that would be looking at his potential for their schools. He was always on Facebook, bragging and showing pictures of different girls. I tried to show Tweet, but her dumb ass wouldn't listen. As soon as she hit 13 years old, she started to fill out a bit with a big butt. Her tits got bigger too, and the boys for the first time started to notice her. She got the name Tweet because of her long eyelashes and her bird-like legs. She looked like Tweety Bird. The sad part is the name didn't come from the kids. It came from my Uncle Wayne, our mother's brother. He used to tease her for fun, and the name just stuck. As we all got on the bus, I thought long and hard about what I was going to do. Trey had to leave my sister alone. He was always watching the other girls and me when we would be sitting in the lunchroom. He knew I couldn't stand him, and I think that's why my plan would work. Kim was my best friend. I told her there was only one way to show my sister the kind of guy he was, and she agreed to help me. I was painted up with our school's mascot, a tiger on both my cheeks. I made sure my hair looked great. I had my tight white jeans on, the ones that I get a lot of stares from all the boys when I wear them. I wanted everything about me to be sexy. When I first got on the bus and Kim saw me, she smiled. "Look at Miss 17, she said, giving me a high five. I moved over so we could sit together. She had already texted him and told him I had something important to tell him. "Say," I said, looking right at her. Kim was one of those girls that every girl wished they could be. She had the gift of gab, and being a plus-size girl, she knew how to bring it. She had a boyfriend, but he was already out of school and going to college. She was not feeling it much anymore, so she and I spent lots of time together planning to attend Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia. She knew as much as I did of Trey's reputation. He was always looking for girls to fuck. She couldn't stand him either. I wanted to bring his big-ass ego down and get him out of my sister's life for good. I knew the risk, but I couldn't let him stay in her life, keep giving her babies and leave her stuck with no life and no future. The 10th and 11th graders all rode on the buses together. It turned into a bus party, a little on the ghetto side, but a lot of fun. They were playing Jay-Z on a big-ass old-school boombox and really turning it up. The bus driver, David, was cool. He just said, "No weed," and we will all have a good time. He knew some of the older boys would try him, and they always ended up being thrown off the bus. I kept waiting for Kim to get an answer from Trey. She would check her phone quite a bit as the bus headed to Kentucky. I just had to get Trey to fall for the plan I had set in my mind. Guys like him don't care who the girl is, as long as he is getting some sex out of it. And the seniors that he ran around with were all trying to leave school knowing they set the record, smashing as many girls as they could. Well, he had the biggest shock of his life coming, and when I get done with him, he'll think twice about being on his smashing pumpkin list. Kim had laid her head on my shoulder and dozed off. The party had slowed down, the music not as loud, and a lot of people were sleeping or talking. I was reading in Eric's long tiki book, Baby Mama Drama. Kim's phone started to buzz. Somebody was calling her, and she was still sleeping, now against the bus window. "Kim, your phone is ringing," I said, as I saw it illuminating inside the kangaroo pocket on her hoodie. "Huh?" she said, coming out of what seemed to be a good sleep. Then she felt her phone buzzing and playing Beyonce's song, Single Ladies, of all things, as a ringtone. That was the first time I heard that song playing. I laughed. She just smiled and shrugged her shoulders as she saw me smiling. "Hey, Trey," she said, elbowing me in the side. "You guys ready to win?" she asked, making small talk. Trey was such a hoe. He would be trying to smash her if she gave him a chance. "Well, I wanted to tell you my girl Lacey. She really thinks you're fine." I tapped her and mouthed, "Don't tell him I'm with you." He was being distracted by one of the other guys. The bus they were on left hours earlier than ours. "Sorry, Kim. Can we talk about this later?" he said, like something was more important. "Okay," she said, hanging up. I think his coach was talking. He had to hang up. "We'll get his ass. Don't worry," she said. "I just gotta make this work," I said, shaking my head. "Trust me, this'll be easy," Kim said confidently.